Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Good Hang. Very excited to introduce our guest today. It is Will Forte. Will, amazing actor, performer, writer, and my good friend who started at SNL pretty much the same time as me. So we get into those early years. Today, we talk about his amazing SNL audition. We talk about how he became incredible at Donkey Kong. And we also talk about the Four Seasons, the great new show that he's on Netflix currently with Tina Fey. And speaking of Tina Fey, we are asking Tina to join us and give us a question to ask our guest, Will Forte. And Tina is a friend of the pod. This is her third appearance. And technically, we probably need to start paying her. Tina, hi. Betty, can you hear me? This episode is presented by Athleta. Summer is here. It's time to get outside and get active. And Athleta has just what women need to move the way they want. That's shorts for every type of run, from a casual jog on the beach to a competitive road race. There's skirts for on the court and pants for cool stretching. And there's always a matchback bra and top to complete your outfit. For stylish, innovative activewear, the choice can only be Athleta. Power of she. Shop now at athleta.com. Oh, who are we looking at?
That's Teddy.
Teddy. Oh my gosh, Teddy just responded to her, his name, Teddy. Hi, Teddy.
Teddy? Oh, I wish you could smell him. Smells terrible.
Betty, we were just saying that you are the official best friend of the pod because this is the third time you have been on the pod.
Yay.
Thank you for being here.
I want a 3-timers jacket.
Yeah, just like SNL, we'll give you like a really heavy, ill-fitting robe.
A really unflattering jacket.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wear every time.
We're talking to you in New York, and
yes.
We're talking to the great Will Forte today.
Yes.
Congratulations, by the way, on your show. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for watching it.
We're going to be plugging it while he's here, but the Four Seasons out on Netflix. You can
currently streaming on Netflix.
Yep.
Right, Ted?
Right, Teddy? And then there's a dog version for Teddy and other dogs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The dog version is a lot darker.
What has it been like working with someone that you've known for so long? And what's good about it?
It was so easy to work with Will. And we said, like, when you work with people at SNL, you just know them by osmosis because you just stay up all night with them so many times. You eat like cold meatball off the table next to them, even if you're not working directly together that much. Because Will and I didn't really write together, or like I've never had dinner with like just Will, but it's just all osmosis. And so I just was very comfortable with him. I feel like we had a shorthand. I feel like I was never worried that he would be mad at me or not like me,
Yeah.
just easy.
Yeah.
And I knew he is a super hard worker because he is the hardest worker. Like, he'll work himself to death.
I just found out today that he did 20,000 steps a day, every day for the year 2024.
20,000, yeah, at
20.
least. And he would wear it almost like a court ankle bracelet. He would wear it under his costume when we were filming, and he would talk about how I got 20,000 steps, and he would like get up at 5 o'clock in the morning before he came to the shoot to get the first 10,000.
Yeah.
He also, one thing I learned about him is and I know his family and friends do love him, so I don't know why he is this way, but I feel like he is so responsive to any words of praise. If you say like, "Will, you did a great job in that," he's like a plant that nobody watered for a week. He's like, "Thank you so much." Like, he's so grateful. Like, I know your wife is nice to you, but he just really, I think his love language is words of affirmation.
Oh, that's so good to know.
Telling him he's doing a great job on the podcast and watch his face light up. He's going to light up.
It's so true because, and it's so easy to talk about how great he is because he is so, not only is he so funny and a great writer and a really nice person, but he could have been in another world like a finance bro, or a jock.
so interesting, Amy, because that was the main question I thought to ask him is
Ooh.
I would like to know if he had not ended up in comedy, because I know anecdotally from talking to him that he had a lot of weird jobs. He was like, and he had like, it's almost like he's immortal because he describes chunks of his life. I'm like, that's too many chunks. Like, what do you mean that one time you went up to Alaska and were a salmon fisherman? Like, what do you mean? So he's had all kinds of jobs. And I wonder if he had not ended up a comedy writer and then a performer, what would he have been?
Mm-hmm.
What would have become of him?
Great
Well, I think,
question.
if in another era, if he had lived in another era, I feel like he would have been a really popular 70s game show host who then like killed a bunch of nurses. And then they would like Mark Harmon would have played him in a movie.
Yep.
But
That makes
but
sense.
yeah, like what would his life be like if he had gone a different route?
And I'm going to talk to him just a little bit about some of his characters because I feel like they just are so like they just kind of came with him in SNL. He had so many that he brought. But
Yeah.
do you remember his audition?
I kind of do because I remember he did um I think he did Tim Calhoun, the really quiet guy running for office is really quiet. And he did that kind of infamous silver face paint guy.
Yeah.
His comedy is so truly unique. His voice, when you think of like MacGruber and the Falconer and all these, and like all the kind of the dancing football coach and the Halloween sketch where he's the guy who's has to tell everybody he's a registered sex offender. His or like the time he brought his lovely mom onto Weekend Update and just like was like gonna tribute her, but it was just like when you die. Like, I'm gonna be so whatever. He has such a weird sense of humor. I wonder what comedy things shaped him because I don't think it's the same stuff as everybody else. But like what combination of comedy viewing and real life childhood trauma made his comedy this?
There's like a mischievous streak in him.
Yes.
I felt it a little bit in some of the scenes when you guys were throwing stuff at each other.
Oh yeah.
Like there was a little bit, I was like, that is a little Forte.
Yes. He hits me with a cup
Yes.
and I look genuinely really mad. And but also he was like the obedient part of him was like so happy that he hit me with the cup on the first try. He likes anything that's close to sports.
All right. Thank you, Betty, for
Right.
this time.
Thank
Love
you.
you. See
I
you
had a whole time.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. This episode is brought to you by Uber Eats. Summer is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered by Uber Eats. What do I mean by almost? Well, you can't get a summer blockbuster delivered, but you can get a block of cheese. A cabana, that's a no. But a banana, that's a yes. You know what I like to order from Uber Eats? Batteries. Don't eat batteries, but I often need batteries, and you can get batteries from Uber Eats. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. For alcohol, you must be legal drinking age. Please enjoy responsibly. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. Okay, I'll officially start. We are with Will Forte. We are with Orville Willis Forte the fourth.
The fourth, yes.
You're the fourth Orville.
I'm always pissed if somebody doesn't say the fourth.
I know you like.
Sometimes people say the third, and it's like, that's my
And
dad.
it's also
obviously.
my mouth wants to say Orville Wilbur Forte, but it's not. It's Willis Forte.
Oddly, I accept that. I'm totally fine with
accept
Wilbur just because there's something fun about it. But the fourth is that's disrespectful if you get the fourth wrong. They named me the fourth like for a reason.
Well, tell me who, because I love, you told me this very early on when we met, the names of all of, because you go by Will, but you did not go by Will as a kid, right? You went by.
I was Billy as a kid, but then I was born in 1970. So when I started going to school, I started hearing about Billie Jean King, and people were like, "You have a girl's name," and that was like a big deal. Like, so I was like, "I am not Billy. I am
Will."
Will. That's how. Yeah, I think I just demanded a name change at like 5 or 6 years old.
Okay, but then you went by Will. Then your dad went by.
Dad was Rebel.
Yeah.
Because he was born Up by you. He was Weston, Massachusetts.
Yep.
So he's from Yankee territory, but he was born in New Orleans. His dad was stationed down in rebel territory during World War II. I don't think it was still, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So he went by, as a joke, they called him Rebel.
And he went by Reb, right? He still goes
Reb.
by Reb.
He still goes by Reb. He's still around. Still
I know.
skis. 80, almost 82. 82 in about 3 weeks, and he still skis.
I'm here to say, both your parents, just attractive people. I just saw
Yeah.
Patty, your mom, and Reb at the Four Seasons premiere. Your dad is a handsome silver fox.
He's kind of a white fox now.
Yeah, he's a white fox.
It's really,
He's
yeah.
blending into the
Yeah.
snow. Patty looks incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
She's about to turn 82 also. And she, if somebody, there are people who think she's in her like mid 60s.
Yeah, she is like incredible skin.
Yeah.
You have very good genes.
Yeah.
Will Forte, I was so excited to have you come today because I feel like all of us we like all went to the same comedy high school or something. Like we all
Yeah.
graduated at the same time from a place. And I feel like when we all see each other, it just feels like in fact, Tina was talking about this. Like, it just feels like we all through osmosis just got to spend so many hours together.
Yes.
Like we really spent a huge
I would
chunk
even
of
say
our
it's
lives.
more than a high school experience. It's like a family,
Yeah.
like a real family. And that 50th really
Yeah.
showed it too, because there'd be a lot of people that you didn't meet that you felt like you knew. And it was just such a warm homecoming with those people that like you've heard of them, they've heard of you. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm finally meeting you. It was, but I mean, for somebody you went through it with
Yeah.
for as long as we did. Yeah. That you guys are all family.
I know. And did you meet anybody for the first time at the 50th that you had never met? Like that you had never.
Yes, Melanie Hutzel,
Mhm.
Adam Driver, I
Yeah.
had never met, and he was so sweet. And Nathan Lane was there, just people like that. So it was just a delight. And then the capper was like right after we go through this long rehearsal. We had noticed Paul McCartney just hanging out in the bleachers, and somebody said, "You sticking around? Because Paul McCartney's doing sound check right now." So we're like, fantastic. So I just hung around and called my wife and my daughter, whose birthday, it was her 4th birthday. So I said, "Get Zoe out of bed right now. Get over here." She's like, because she was taking a nap. So I said, "Get her up, get her up." I was so mean. I was like, Get down
her
here right now,
Slap
or
her
I'm
awake.
leaving you. I'm leaving this family." So she runs her down, and I have this just priceless video of like her watching Paul McCartney singing. It was the very end of like, the whole Golden Slumbers medley. And
Is Zoe the daughter that ate the ice cream for the first time?
yes, she's this daughter right here. She's this one. There's Cecilia right there. And there's Zoe.
For listeners, Will Forte just lifted up his pants and showed us socks that has his daughter's faces on them. Where did you get those socks?
My wife gets them for me like every Christmas, every Father's Day, every birthday. It's all I want. All like, I would say 90% of my socks have somebody special's face on them. I'm walking on
So you have
my family all the time.
You have 2 daughters, 4 and what?
4 and 2.5.
Will.
They're so cute. Yeah, I started late.
Yeah.
My wife got me when I first was, I think it was before the first one was born. She got a sweatshirt that she had made that said "Dad or Grandpa?" ? Just so great. And definitely most people would probably go, "Grandpa."
No.
For sure.
No
Oh,
way. As an older dad.
How dare you?
You've lived a lot of lives. Like you have a lot of versions of you. Before we met at SNL, you were in finance before you worked in comedy.
Yeah, but I was barely in. I was like, I was an intern, and it was what my dad did. So it was, it was a big deal to me back then because it's what I thought I was going to do just because my
Yeah.
dad did it. So I
Yeah.
always thought, oh, I'll follow in his footsteps. And then as I was doing it, it was like, oh, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because, I was working for this guy and he was a nice guy, but it's like, it was the thing that I was doing was kind of boring. I would just like call people on his behalf. And then right when I'd get them on the line, I would send them over to him. So I wouldn't have to like do the scary and exciting part of like trying to sell a product to this
get him
guy.
on the phone.
Yeah. It's just like get the person
Get
on the
him
phone, hold for this guy I don't want to say his name. He's a nice guy, but I've said it in the past. I'm like, I don't know if he wants to be part of my stories, but he was great. But at a certain point, he said his name's Brett. He's a nice guy. I don't think he'd care.
No, he won't care.
Yeah. But at a certain point, he said, you know what? I'm going to put you through the Series 7 and you'll come over and be part of my, like the junior guy in my team or something like that. And it was at that point that I was like, oh, I know myself. And if I agree to this, I will never leave. I wouldn't go like, my attitude would be, this guy went out on a limb, took a chance on me. I'm not going to just F him over.
But it is like when my memory of you was when you came to SNL, it was like you already had an aura because it was like he was worked in a brokerage firm and then he left to write comedy and you had already written for Letterman and was it Third Rock from the Sun?
Third Rock from the Sun.
You had two genuine
70s show.
And 70s show when you auditioned for SNL.
I was trying to get out of the audition because I was under contract for 70 shows. So to me, I was like, I can't even do it anyway. I think we had just gotten picked up for 2 years in a row, which was unheard of. And so I was like, I finally had this job that's going to stick for a while and loved the job. And this experience at Letterman where I didn't do great. And I was like, this felt like, is this going to be another dream shattered? So just like hold on to this thing that is you got for sure is bird in the hand, right?
Yeah.
So I just was like, finally they talked me into coming to audition. So I went and then I got the job.
Your audition. Your audition was so funny, Will.
Really?
Yes.
Well, thank you.
It was so, I think it goes down as one of the best.
Really?
I
man.
think so. I mean, I remember.
By the way, look at that audition. You'll see the doughy Forte for sure. I probably was, 30 to 40 pounds heavier.
Baby Forte,
Just like cheeseburger Forte.
You did a bunch of characters in that audition that you ended up doing on the show. You did Tim Calhoun. You're the soft-spoken candidate.
I was the speed reader ended up on the show.
Yes, the speed reader. Was the spelling bee guy?
Spelling bee guy was kind of just Tim Calhoun
true.
a different setup.
That's true.
But
did you do
those
any
were
impressions?
The two. I did. I was not. I mean, my impressions.
Me too.
They're so bad. I can do Kermit the Frog. That's I think it.
Did you?
I
do
did
Kermit?
Michael McDonald, which is like I did the things everybody could do, and I did Martin Sheen.
Ooh.
But I said like it was
like a West Wing Martin Sheen or an Apocalypse Now Martin Sheen.
It was just like an old person voice, kind of, or like. I mean, he was no disrespect, but just like for me at the time, I was 32.
Yeah.
And like, I just kind of said, hi, I'm Martin Sheen. And what I said, I've had kind of a cold lately. So if this doesn't sound like me, it's because of the cold. But, if it does sound like me, then I guess the cold is gone. Or something like that.
Oh my God, that's so good. And then you did the amazing character that did end up on SNL once, which is the silver-faced.
Oh, we did it at dress rehearsal, but it
didn't make the show?
It didn't make the show, but I was so thankful that it didn't because.
Can you just tell people about that though, for people that don't know? Because it is legendary that you did it in the audition.
It was something I used to do at the Groundlings, and it was a Goldman. And
Excuse me, not silver. It was gold.
No. It's totally fine.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
No. Everyone always says Silverman when they. I think there are more people out on the streets that are silver than gold because it's just less expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Anyway, so it's one of those guys who's dressed all in silver. Or
Oh my
now
God!
you got me.
No, I'm so sorry.
Dressed all in gold, frozen, and then if you put money in his thing, he moves around like a robot and then freezes until somebody puts more money in. So I did this sketch where it was it had a thing that said "Dollars make me move." So a robber comes up.
Yeah.
This was at the Groundlings. It was Jim Rash, and Jim Rash comes up and takes the money out, and I can't move because he's not putting money in. So I'm just stuck there until somebody else finally comes back and puts $1 in, and then I try to find this guy, and I'm like, okay,
In a
he's
very
nowhere to be
robot
seen.
way.
Yeah,
In a very
so then
robot-y
I
way.
sadly go back up onto my perch, and then somebody else, Jeremy Rowley, comes up. He's a kid with Kevin Ruff and says, "Daddy, why does the gold man look so sad?" And I was, well, maybe if you ask him, he'll tell you. Or maybe if you put $1 in, he'll tell you. Maybe if you put $2 in, he'll tell you in song. And so then I do this song, and that's what I did for the.
And can you tell everyone what the song
And I
was?
tried to do what I just told you in. I tried to do that in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't think I did it, but it was like.
And
So there's this guy. So do you know?
So what was the song though? It's an incredible song.
So this is the. Yeah. So I just set it up. I almost retold the setup again. So keep in mind. Okay.
So here we are.
Just because I'm a man made of gold. So also, just so you know, before I do this, so he said he puts in the $2. The kid puts in the $2, and then a bunch of people start gathering around. Maya Rudolph being one of them. Just because I'm a man made of gold doesn't mean I'm made out of money. But the calling I found is to give people pleasure through incredibly precise robotic movement. That's why I come out to the streets to help me make ends meet. And I work real hard to fill up that jar. But then a bad apple ruins the barrel. Heart of gold, 24 karat. But through all the pain, I grin and I bear it. Heart of gold. But I'm living a golden dream. 'Cause any way you slice it, we're all on the same team. Come on now, everybody. And everybody starts singing along. Heart of gold, 24 karat. But through all the pain, I grin and I bear it. And the mic goes, he grins and he bears it. Heart of gold. But it don't make me no saint. 'Cause I got a little secret. That's a cock for my face paint. Come on, say it with me, everybody. Come on. Heart of gold. That's a cock for my face paint. That's a cock for my face paint. Cock. Face paint. I suck cock for my face paint. I suck that cock for my face paint. Face paint. Cock. Face paint. Face paint. Cock and face paint. Cock, 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 face paint. Cock, cock, face paint, face paint, cock, cock, face paint, cock, 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 face paint, cock, cock, face paint, cock, face paint, cock, cock. Together at last in a heavenly union. Cock, 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 cock. And then just kind of go out. And at this point, everybody's left. And then I'm just gone.
Together at last in a heavenly union.
Yeah. So I did that a bunch at the Groundlings. And
you did it for your SNL audition.
And I did it for my SNL audition. I remember walking out. Lauren was there and just kind of didn't do when I said, and I didn't know what to say, so I just said, sorry about all the cocks. And then left, and I got the job.
I can remember the reaction to that and how hard people were laughing on a notoriously like cold room. Like that room is very people were dying laughing.
That's really nice to hear because like, I mean,
You don't remember that?
no, because you're so focused on it and especially if you're singing, if you're doing anything loud, you can't really hear something until there's quiet. And this is just like constant noise. And I might have even had my music.
Yeah. Yes.
Like there's this guy, Teddy Zambetti. Thank you, Teddy. Who was the musical director at the Groundlings at the time I did that, gave me this tape of the music so I could do it to the music. And
together.
So I didn't know. I didn't, you walk out of there, you just have no idea how you did. And then I actually, at some point, I went up to Lauren's office because I think also like because I had been such a little pain in the ass about even going out to audition, I think he was like,
are you going to take this job, if I give it to you kind of thing?
Well, it was the weirdest thing because I went in there and I was like, I think he was basically saying, you have the job. But
right, but he doesn't like to actually tell anybody. He notoriously doesn't ever like hire or fire anybody. He's very enigmatic about it. He's just like,
said something
and when
like,
you start, that kind of thing.
When one works here.
Yeah, I remember with him, he was like, and there'll be a time when you're here and people will be, and I was like, did I get hired?
Yeah. Yeah, like skipping the part where it's like, so let me be clear, you've got the job.
Yes.
And moving on to
in your first year, you're going to find, and you're like, my first year here?
Yeah. But to me, I fill in the blanks of the first part that he glides over as like, you're very much on the fence, probably not going to get this job. But if you were lucky enough, if I, somehow make a bad decision and hire you in your first year, you would, and then that stuff.
Right. You got the job and then you had to go back and you had to turn down like a secure job.
Well, if you remember this.
Did you do double dip?
No, I went back there and I was like, I'm not going to leave 70 Show.
That's right. Will, that's such a badass move because, it is.
I was just a puss. I was scared.
But you said, I can't. You turned it down.
I did.
You said, I can't do it because I have other obligations. And just like a lady who doesn't answer her texts, SNL was like, I've never been more attracted to you. It was like double down. Everyone was like, what? And
everyone's like, oh, what a punk rock move. And like, little do they know, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't have to go because I know I would have failed. And I was just like, it was funny. Totally a decision based in fear. And thank God at the end of that situation, at the end of the year where I wrote at 70 Show, and it was great, but I thought about it all the time, like, oh, I should have done it. I should have done it. And thank God Lauren came back. I remember Spivey calling me up and saying, we went to somebody's wedding. That was it. We were at a wedding and Spivey and Maya were both there. And so they were, we talked about it a little bit and I said, yeah, I kind of regret not doing it. I really regret not doing it. And so they came back, Lauren came back and said, would you want to come audition again? And so I said yes. And then Mark Brazil, the guy who was my boss at 70 Show, said, you gotta go do this. Do this, and you have a job here if it's nice. If it doesn't work out, just come right back here.
When you got on the show, did you ever feel secure, safe, or did you always feel like you had to hustle every week for your stuff? Like, did you ever have a moment where you relaxed?
I started relaxing like year 7, maybe.
Yeah.
It was my first year. Everyone's terrified, right? I mean, you were just like, you seemed like you were a pretty instant sensation. But it was tough because like a bunch of, it was a lot of like white dudes. And so you had like, it was
2001 and a lot of white dudes.
It was a huge cast. It was like 17 people.
Yeah.
And so you're you're trying to get your stuff on, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to get noticed. And then I got somehow the George Bush role. So it's like, we talked earlier, like, I don't do impersonations, and like it was a match not made in heaven.
Yeah, you didn't like that.
I mean, listen, Will Ferrell was George Bush. He was George W. Bush. He was so good at it. It was, I mean, I've said this before, but anybody replacing, it's like trying to replace the church lady, trying to have somebody else do that, or like, you just, he made it such his own thing that like they should have just retired it. But of course, you can't retire the sitting president on SNL. You have to have, somebody has to be doing it. And I had to be that guy. So it was like, I was kind of a letdown for a year as Bush.
It is interesting to watch and pay attention to how impersonations get passed around, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. And yeah, you have a job to do, so you have to do it. But it is, I know. And then as I feel you the same way, like it didn't take me until later on where I started to feel relaxed. But when you started to feel relaxed, like I feel like all of your
the story that led to kind of relaxing is after the third. Sorry to cut you off.
No, please.
But I think this was after my third season there, or it might have been after the second season. There was this big period where they were like, rightly saying something's a little off with this show. Let's figure it out. Put a bunch of us on hold. I think you might have been one of the only people who wasn't put on hold for like, they just like picked you up. But like 10 of us, just a bunch of us had our, there's a time for people who don't know, there's a time in like July where they are contractually obligated to tell you if you're getting picked up for the next season. And then sometimes they will make a request to have 3 extra weeks. And they did that with a bunch of people. And that's always scary. And then I got to the end of that 3 weeks. A lot of people had gotten picked up, and they asked for, this was Friday. They said, "Can we tell you Monday?"
Oh.
And I'm like, what am I going to say? So I'm like, sure. Oh. Then on Monday, they said, "We're not going to be able to tell you till Wednesday." Oh. And then that went on, jumping to every 2 days for 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. And I was the very last person who got asked back. Everybody else, I don't even think they cut anybody that year. They just
tortured everybody.
But then what happened was eventually Lauren called me up, and it actually was a good thing because he said, "Here's your deal. You still have a writer mindset. When you write your own things, you commit to them fully, and you're really good about that. But then when other people write things, you get timid, and in my head, I'm like, oh, you freaking you're so stupid. Of course that's not happening." And of course he was 100% right. I was like, true. I would remember back to at 70s show, if I'd write something and somebody's like, or just any job, you write something and you're like, no, that's, nope, that's not how it's meant to be said. And it's like, so in my head, when I'm doing these sketches that other people have written, it's like I could hear them going like, "Oh, he's blowing it. He's not doing that."
Interesting. So the timidity came not from like you not caring or not trying, but it was like you were afraid that they were thinking this isn't right.
I wanted to do it exactly how they wanted it, but didn't know how they wanted it. And so I was kind of timid. And he's like, "You just got to take
weird.
ownership over the sketch.
Big and weird in your stuff."
And it was like, it really like, it could have gone either way. It could have been, I could have just like receded into the shell and melted down. And for some reason it became this thing of like, oh, it's all gravy from here. I could have just been fired. I wasn't fired.
Yeah.
And so like, I got to give it to Lauren. He was totally right. And really somehow, it was kind of a master stroke of genius.
That is a really good feedback and good note.
So but then it still probably took another 2 years before I was like feeling
Do you remember
safe.
that we sat next to each other at the read-through table? You and I were next to each other. Do you remember when we had the guy come for the sexual harassment?
I certainly do.
Do you remember what we were doing during it?
I mean, I think it was like drawing pictures of dicks or something. I
Yes.
assume it's something. I mean,
So
my
we
memory
were,
again is
we
bad.
were consensually and appropriately just with each other, I believe, drawing pictures of penises and giving them back and forth to each other. And then I accidentally handed that sheet of paper to the very nice man who had just done the entire seminar because I thought it was the sign-in sheet. Do you know this part? And
I forgot that part.
handed and he was like, "What's this?" And I said, "Oh, that's the wrong. Sir, that's the wrong paper." But moving forward,
I mean, look, there are so many things I look
That's
back now and I go like,
same.
you think, oh, it's all about getting the laugh. It's
Agree, and I feel that's what that's the part about getting older and being in comedy is you have to like figure out like, oh, it's like everything has an expiration date. I mean, there's like even on the 50th when they said like, here's all they had that segment of like, which is like, here's all the ways we got things wrong, and they showed way inappropriate casting for people. You know, we all played people that we should not have played.
Oh my God.
I misappropriated.
Yes.
I appropriated. I didn't know. I did know. Like, it's very real. And the best thing you can do is like make repair, learn from your mistakes, do better. Like, it's all you can do.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 seasons. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's so great.
Thank
I
you.
watched the whole thing. Tina and I were on tour when it premiered. Will, you are so good in it.
Thank you. Oh, man.
You're so good. I mean,
Thank you.
You know how good you are. I love watching you act. I just think you're such a great actor. I love it. And
I'll tell you, like, and
how fun was it to make?
This will sound like avoiding a compliment, but I really mean it. Like, the way those guys write makes you look like such a good actor. It's like their writing is so good.
Yeah.
It just like it, and that goes for all Tina shows. Like, you know, 30 Rock, getting to do the character I got to play in 30 Rock, the Paul Lassename. It just like it's the stuff that I got to say was just a gift every single time. And it's like anybody could have done that. It really is like such good
You and
writing.
Tina had such a flow and you were really sweet together and we really bought you as a couple. And I just loved seeing you also play because you have the capacity to play such really like, you know, deeply funny, original, and eccentric characters. You played a lot of eccentric characters. And I loved seeing you play this kind of person because he's very close to how I perceive you, Will. Like,
a lot of similarities, I think.
Yeah. So I talked to Tina before this. You know, we like to talk about people behind their back in a good way and ask people what I should ask you. And so I talked to Tina before you came on, and she had a couple good questions for you. One was, which I think we may have already covered, but like if you weren't a comedy writer, like you've had a lot of different like versions of you.
Yeah.
Do you see a parallel world? If you were never a comedy actor and writer, what would you have been?
I think I would have been ideally a college professor. Like
I see that.
Some kind of history. There's something.
Well, you're a white male of a certain age, so you're obsessed with history. I mean,
yeah, it would have been white history.
Yeah.
I love walking around campuses. That makes me sound a little bit like a creep, a little bit. I love walking around campuses, seeing those young people.
And then comedy viewing. Oh, I wrote down her question, which was like, when you were growing up, who did you see and you thought, oh, like who are your influences, basically?
I would say number one was Steve Martin. Peter Sellers was another big one. Every SNL.
Yeah.
David Letterman. Those are the 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, Monty Python, SCTV, so much stuff. But like Steve Martin definitely my number one.
Yeah, Steve
Always.
Martin for our generation, because we're about the same age, it was like so big. Did you watch that documentary? That doc.
I somehow haven't.
Oh my, it's so good.
That's
Morgan
what I
Neville.
hear.
It's
Yeah.
so good, and
Yeah.
it's really moving because it feels like, in the same way that the SNL 50th felt like our entire life. You know, it started when we were 3. That show.
Yeah.
Steve was like the big star when we were little kids, and like he just spans our life too.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
so
all those stand-up albums
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
The Jerk. I mean, The Jerk. It
The
was
Jerk.
for me. It all started. But then, and there are still things that I stumble onto that I, had never seen. Like somehow I had never seen what was it? The Great Flydini.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen? But there are, I'm sure I'm leaving out a million things. Was a huge fan of Cheers, and that's
Love
like,
Cheers. Cheers was in Boston, which was such a big deal growing up. Like,
yeah.
even though not one person had an authentic Boston accent in that show, but including Cliff. It was not an authentic accent, but that was such a big deal. Like Cheers
Yeah.
felt like, oh, this was like a show for us or something.
Yeah.
But I loved Cheers.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
good.
I mean,
The
still,
pilot of Cheers and one of the best pilots ever.
yeah. And I look back now every once in a while. I'll go back and watch them, and it's still so amazing. Like the storytelling is so good. Those writers
I
are
know.
just cream of the crop.
And what are you watching today? Looking at, listening to, reading? What do you like? How do you check out? How do you zone out? Like, how do you get yourself happy or laugh? Like, where do you go? What do you watch?
I play a lot of Sudoku. For some reason, I have a bunch of things
Do you
like
know I've never
checklists.
played Sudoku?
I used to be. I'm still a big crossword. I do the New York Times crossword puzzle, but usually I'll just wait till Saturday to do Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday's hard.
I know. I would just want to jump to that. I know it's a
Dang.
humble brag, but
I love it. It's a learned skill.
But it's
and
like
and people don't know that you had like one of the highest scores ever in Donkey Kong.
that's true. That's true. Which is that's a
Right?
big
That's true.
factor in measuring somebody's brain capacity.
But what was
Yeah.
your score and how did you get it?
It was very high, and
Where was
no,
it?
this
Where was
was
it
okay.
measured?
So I was down in. Here's the story about that. I think I had at one point I had the 29th highest registered Donkey Kong score.
Okay.
The word registered should be in bold print so I was down doing that movie, Good Old Fashioned Orgy,
Right.
with Sudeikis and Lake Bell and Tyler Labine and Pete and Alex, Pete Hike and Alex Gregory, just a million people, Lindsay Sloan. It was so fun. It was this very fun summer. And I was the person in this movie. It's a group of friends who are going to all have an orgy. And I was the friend. Me and Lucy Punch played the couple that they didn't want to be at the orgy.
So great.
I forget why. I think because we were married but they didn't want us in the orgy. So I was basically only in like every fourth day. And so I found this bar. I would just go down to this bar that had a Donkey Kong in it. And I wouldn't even drink there. I would just go and play Donkey Kong. And then there was this JLK. I still remember JLK had all the high scores. And I'm like, I'm going to get this fucker off this high score. I'm going to beat this guy. So I started getting better and better. And then I'd go home and I'd look up, tips for how you get through this level that I was. And, so I'm spending hours and hours all my off days. And so I'm getting better and better. Well, eventually I get a pretty high score. And I showed there was this guy, Leo Daniels, I think was his name. And he was, you remember King of Kong?
Yes, of course, that movie.
So, well, he was like, I think he was the record holder for Defender, or there were a couple different games that he was big in that scene, but he was on our crew for a Good Old Fashioned Orgy. So I showed him this picture. I'm like, check this out. Not bad, huh? And he's like, that's pretty good. And I'm like, oh, really? And he said, yeah. That's pretty good. By the way, it was higher than JLK. So he sent it to that guy, Walter, who was if you've seen King of Kong, I forget Walter's last name, but he was the guy who would watch the videotapes. And I didn't videotape it, but he just, I think he made a special SNL.
And he said, I'm going to put you in the books.
So he registered it.
Holy moly.
But that's the thing. There are probably a million people who have higher scores, but like who's going to register their Donkey Kong score?
If you're going for a high Donkey Kong score, you're going to register it.
Sure, but I was just like having fun. This was my own, I was establishing my own levels that I wanted to get to.
Sudoku,
I didn't do it for the glory.
And what about what makes you laugh? What are you like laughing at these days?
The kids. I mean, they're so freaking funny.
Okay, there's a video that I saw of your daughter eating ice cream for the first time. And if I may describe it, because Tina and I were talking about it, it is the cutest. We were saying it's such precious IP. You could sell it and then do an animated series off of it. It is. Can you explain what happens?
I could play the audio.
Let's play the audio.
You want to play the audio?
Oh, it's so.
It really is.
It is.
It's so cute.
Listeners, it's like.
I mean, I wonder if you have to see it, if it's.
But is she having ice cream for the first time?
No, she's had ice cream before, but it's freezing. So what you can't see is like she is pounding this ice cream. And she's like shivering and shaking, and then, but she keeps going, and then she keeps getting
we know that she comes from an ice cream
freezes.
family because you love ice cream.
Yes. Here, I'll show it to you so you can see it.
Okay.
You're shivering.
Yeah.
You're not cold?
No,
Then why are you shivering?
because my legs are bumpy.
Because of my legs are bumpy.
What? Your legs are bumpy?
She's deeply shivering and eating ice cream.
You are so funny. You got ice cream up under your glasses, too.
And then she crosses her eyes trying to see it on her glasses.
What are you doing?
Where?
Right here.
She crossed her eyes to find the ice cream on her glasses.
I got a brain freeze.
You got a brain freeze. That's your second brain freeze.
It seems like she's going to die, and then she just, after this one, I think she dives right back
That's your
in.
second brain freeze.
So that's basically
that's so cute.
It helps
so
to see the visuals, because when you say like she had like ice cream up here, and it's like you have ice cream on your glasses or whatever. And she goes,
Little kids with glasses are so cute.
well, you would love both my kids then, because
Little
they
glasses?
have shitty eyesight.
Little
They
glasses,
both have
so cute.
One has little pink glasses and one has purple.
That's one of the things
They're
I
so
do.
cute.
It's so cute. One of my go-to comfort watches is I watch videos of little kids getting glasses for the first time.
That is
I
the
love
best.
it.
Or kids who some have like
Yes,
cochlear
the
implants.
cochlear implants, and they hear their mom.
Soldiers coming home and surprising their kids at school.
Absolutely, they're all in the same category. Tears.
Dogs being
Seeing
away
their
from
owner. Elephants. Elephants.
military. Yeah,
Who used to be trained by a guy, and then they run back to the guy and they hug the guy.
yeah.
Any reuniting, and any when you see a little baby that's just kind of like not focusing, and then they put those little glasses on them, and the baby sees their mom, and then they smile, forget it.
Yeah.
I love those videos.
It's so good.
And then because of the rule of threes, and because I too often have to circle back and close the loop, I feel like on behalf of one of my producers, Jack here, I need to ask you about this particular sketch. Will, you are one of the people that when I say like I'm going to have you on, every person I know, but a lot of men I know, you're their favorite, and also they want to talk about their favorite sketches that you've done. Like they want me to mention it, and the one that Jack wants me to mention, Jack, I feel like I just feel like we can't end without it. Okay, because is Clancy, bought a glass of beer.
Okay.
So can you just tell us, for those people that don't know, that sketch. Can you just?
Well, first of all, it's jar of beer.
I'm so sorry.
I forgive you.
What did I
Oh my
say?
God, I would
What
be.
did I say? Glass?
You said glass of beer.
Jar of beer. How could I? You only say it
It's a
10
glass
times.
jar. It's a glass jar. I mean, we don't. It's glass parentheses unspoken, but like
So sorry. So can you just tell us how that sketch came about? And
This-
for people that don't know,
so we.
how do you even explain it?
This was me and Wig and John Solomon wrote a sketch that was like a Thanksgiving sketch. It was just people singing. I forget the tune, but it was like, guess who's coming to, Thanksgiving dinner this year? And then it was just a bunch of weird names like Pessamelia Giltweeshna, Fruge Freem, Jibble, Betsy People Poof, and all these weird things. And it did not make it. It was like fun, but it made it to dress rehearsal, I think.
Yeah.
The next time we went in, we figured out the thing of like, oh, we'll sing about toddlers, Model T car. I think it just started out. The first song we wrote, it was going to be a bunch of different songs.
And you just picked
then
those words?
We picked those things and we're like, what if every single one has those things? And then it became about that. But then the first time we put it up at a table read, it was like existing songs. So it was like, Highway to the Toddler Zone.
I remember that.
Gonna, drink a jar of beer in a spaceship in the toddler zone. And then just, jam. And so it was probably 10 different songs that would have been the most expensive sketch of all time. So they said, get out of our face with that. So we were like, oh, let's do that because we love the concept of the weird thing. So we just wrote original songs and that was kind of how we did it.
And it was Jackie and Clancy.
Jackie Snad and Clancy
Jackie
T. Backlerat.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you guys just sang songs. And
About toddlers, jars of beer, spaceships, and Model T cars.
Oh, toddler, did you hear when I whispered in your ear about the spaceship that was parked in your yard? Next to a Model T car and some beer in a jar, but without any gas, they couldn't get too far.
That was one of the most fun to ever get to do.
I
doing
remember
it.
watching that. I remember you doing it at the table. And, like I said, you were next to me. So it was really loud.
Always. I'm sorry.
No, it was incredible. And you and Wig did so many funny things together. You're such a, you're just so great together. I mean, Kristen's a genius.
So, yeah.
But,
yeah.
But that one was felt particularly fun because just like how you said, it kind of felt like both of you felt like you were in your senioritis. Like it was very loose and stupid and fun that you can only get to if you've been on the show for a while. Like you just, I don't know, you have to kind of earn it and get there. And that felt like that kind of sketch.
It definitely was a really, they would always say you'd put stuff up and it would seem to go well at the table and it wouldn't get picked. And they'd say just wait, when you're there for long enough, those things will start getting picked. And they were. It was right. It was right. Certainly there were still a couple times when you're like, hey, I want, I deserve the old senior. And it was never I never went in thinking hey, I deserve this because I'm a senior. I wouldn't
worked very hard.
I would never want something that I thought sucked to
No
get
way.
on. I was a part of a lot of things that sucked, by the way, that I, probably liked myself. But to me, it was if something went well at the table read, it deserved, when you're in your 7th year, you deserve a shot.
Yep.
And sometimes, by the way, sometimes there'd be shows that were chock full of good stuff.
Yeah.
And so I understand it with that. But then every once in a while, I'd be like, okay, that thing made it in.
Oh yeah.
This,
Oh yeah. I mean, that was a lot of it. Which is okay, they're doing another one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
But that sketch from beginning to end is and remains everybody's favorite. And so, to end our podcast today, will you?
Oh, can I tell one?
Yes.
Tina, we did so much press, and I can't believe this never came up.
Ooh.
But Tina, in the making of the 4 seasons, we all had what's called 2 bangers.
Yeah.
two-banger trailers. So basically, there'd be a trailer with a wall in the middle, and the toilets would be up against the wall. And so I wanted to be very extra respectful.
You're
like
very
I wanted
respectful.
her to know that, like, I don't even know. I just want, at some point, I'm like, I just want you to know I'm never in there trying to listen to, what's going on. If I hear that you even come close to that bathroom, I'm
But
going.
this is an example where I know your intention is good, but you're bringing something up that no one would think. Like, no one would think that you're.
Everyone's thinking it. You kidding? Everyone's thinking it. It's so quiet in there. I can like hear if she like starts writing a letter at the far end of the trailer. It's like, oh, she's writing a letter. It's like, oh, it's a blue envelope. Yeah, you can hear everything.
So you said, just so you know, I'm not trying to listen to you
just
go to the
like,
bathroom.
I just want you to feel comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
if you ever go in there, I go in, I put on some music,
Yeah.
and the door's shut.
Sweet.
I'm just not in there, and so it became this joke thing, and then we had a system where if we ever heard Iron Maiden, that was like, clear out of here, damage is being done. I can't believe that never came up. We just
Oh my God, that's
did
so
a full
good.
press junket, all did
We're
talk
saying it
shows,
here.
and
We're
it's like
saying it
that
here.
was like.
That's
Yeah.
actually like that loving care is actually what like a real marriage is like. Like what
Yeah.
you're just talking about, like how you and Tina are like keeping each other's boundaries and also
I'll tell you, that was a really nice thing because like to get to go through that experience, forget about it with like the honor of getting to play Tina's husband, like
Yeah.
what a professionally, what a thrill.
yeah.
But personally, to get to have that experience, we're hanging out so much, and like she was, got to hang with my family,
Yeah.
and it was very special
That's
to
awesome.
go through that with her.
Yeah, it's
So,
awesome. I loved it.
Thank you.
All right, but can you sing the glass oh my God, I did it again. Can you sing the jar of beer? Do you remember the jar of beer song?
Oh, Clancy, can you take me down to spaceship camp? Does a toddler have a fry an egg up with a frying pan? So hop in my Model T car. Oh, look, a spaceship. A toddler in a Model T car. Spaceship camp. I forgot. I mean, that was butchering it, but it was like. I just remember
Good
also, it was
memory.
like, spaceship camp. Oh, my God.
Oh, well, I love you. You're so
I
great.
love you.
Thank you so much for doing this. And
It is so
it's just
fun.
so nice
It's,
to spend time together. It's kind of like we've
I
been
barely
saying
see
it.
you anymore.
I
We
never
should
get to see-
we should hang out more.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I love every time I get to see you. And
Same
like
here.
that's been the best thing about this is like get to spend like an hour and a half
Freaking-
talking while people watch.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Will. Love you. And you're just so hilarious always and love talking to you today. And, Will talked about Donkey Kong and a great documentary about Donkey Kong is called King of Kong. And I just wanted to say in the Polar Plunge, check out King of Kong. It came out maybe almost 20 years ago, but it's a documentary directed by Seth Gordon, a great director who went on to direct movies like Horrible Bosses and Identity Thief. And he actually directed a few episodes of Parks and Recreation in the early days. And it is just this incredible tale of men and their love of a particular game. So check it out. Check out Four Seasons and check out this podcast. See you soon. Bye. You've been listening to Good Hang. The executive producers for this show are Bill Simmons, Jenna Weiss-Berman, and me, Amy Poehler. The show is produced by The Ringer and Paperkite. For The Ringer, production by Jack Wilson, Kat Spillane, Kaya McMullen, and Alea Zanaris. For Paperkite, production by Sam Green, Joel Lovell, and Jenna Weiss-Berman. Original music by Amy Miles.
전 여동생이 마침내 집으로 돌아올 때까지 영원히 공부하고 싶었습니다. 서둘러 여동생과 국회를 즉시 따라야 합니다. 드디어 국회에 입성했다. 그녀는 아무것도 보지 못한다고 말합니다. 딜이란 무엇입니까? 나는 고개를 끄덕이며 동의한다는 표시를 했다. 우연 같지 않죠? 그 사람은 1000마일도 떨어져 있지 않은 단지 입이 험난한 사람일 뿐입니다. 아내 교환이란 무엇입니까? 고등학교 시절의 어느 주말 사랑에 빠진 건 아니더라도 누군가를 좋아했던 건 아닐까? 하지만 누군가를 쫓을 때 어떻게 사랑을 고백할 수 있습니까? 나는 살짝 고개를 숙였다. 모르겠어요. 고인이 된 의사와 저는 고등학교 때 친하지 않았습니다. 트라이우 박사는 조금 아쉬운 마음이 들었지만 그도 포함되어야 했습니다. 이러다간 친구가 별로 없을 것 같아요. 그가 말을 마치기도 전에 뒤에서 2번 노크하는 소리가 들렸고 경비원은 여유롭게 손을 빼냈습니다. 그들은 무엇을 말하고 있었습니까? 아니요, 아무것도 아닙니다. 트라이우 박사는 죄책감을 느끼는 목소리로 말했습니다. 네, 부서장님이 전화했어요. 나는 전에 떠났다. 둘이서 천천히 얘기하자 아마 결국 우리 대화를 듣지 못했을 것입니다. 나는 아직도 내가 누구인지 기억하지 못한다. 사실 고등학교 3학년 때 나는 반년 동안 그 사람의 데스크메이트였지만 그 사람은 조용한 사람이었다. 너무 바빠서 공부하느라 바빴고 학교에서 돈 벌느라 바빴어요. 매일 수업 시간에 숙제를 하고 학교가 끝나기 전에 숙제를 끝내려고 밤에는 빨래하고 밥 짓고 재료 준비하고 콩 갈고 우유를 끓인다. 4시 6분 오랫동안 같은 테이블에 앉아 아침 식사를 판매하는 장소를 예약하기 위해 스팀 증기 만두를 시장에 다시 가르치고 도와주었습니다. 물론 조용한 화학작용도 있습니다. 예를 들어 나는 들어가고 나가는 것이 불편하다는 것을 알고 벽에 가까운 실내에 앉았으므로 물을 기르러 갈 때마다 퉁씨가 편리하게 도와주었습니다. 예를 들어 나는 그 사람이 질서정연함에 대한 약간